You're praying, but you don't feel anything anymore. You open your mouth to talk to God and nothing comes. Just silence, just exhaustion, just that horrible feeling that maybe you're talking to yourself. And the worst part isn't even that. The worst part is that you've prayed so much, cried so much, asked so much, and nothing changed. If that's where you are right now, stay here, because this video was made exactly for you. Most people who lose hope don't stop believing in God overnight. That's not how it works. What happens is slower than that, more painful. It's that prayer you prayed through tears that never got answered. It's that promise that seemed certain and then fell apart. It's that moment when you looked up at the sky and thought, "Is anyone even listening to me?" Today, I'm going to show you what you can say to God when the words run out, when your faith is hanging by a thread, when hope feels like it died for good. And I'll warn you now, it's not going to be what you expect to hear. There's a lie that we learn inside the church, inside our homes, inside our own heads. And this lie does quiet damage. The lie is this, that a strong prayer is a pretty prayer. We're taught to pray with the right words, the right tone of voice, the right posture. We learn that we need to have faith when we pray, that we can't doubt, that we have to speak with confidence. And then the day comes, and this day comes for everyone, when you have none of that left. You don't have pretty words. You don't have a steady voice. You don't have confidence. All you have is pain, weight, that question that hurts to even ask. God, where are you? And you freeze, because you were taught you can't pray like that it's weakness, that it means you don't have enough faith. So you stop praying altogether. Or you keep repeating words that don't mean anything to you anymore, just out of habit. And both of those are equally devastating, because when the person who is suffering more than they can handle stops talking to the only source that could hold them up, they are truly alone. That's the problem we need to solve today. And the solution starts with a shift in perspective that most people have never had. What the Bible actually says about praying without hope. Did you know that the most honest book about despair in the entire Bible is a book of prayers? The Psalms. David, the man called a man after God's own heart, wrote things that most churches today would be embarrassed to put on a screen during a Sunday service. He wrote, "How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever?" He wrote, "My soul is full of anguish, and my life is on the edge of the grave." He wrote, "I am worn out from my groaning. My throat is dry. My eyes grow tired while I wait for my God." That's not a lack of faith. That's real faith. Real faith isn't the kind that pretends everything is fine. Real faith is the kind that keeps talking even when it hurts. That keeps going even without understanding. That says, "I have no idea what's happening, but I'm still here talking to you." The problem with our generation is that we want a cinematic faith. The kind with a soundtrack playing in the background, the epic moment, the miraculous revelation. And when real life doesn't look like that, we think faith has failed. But the faith God honors isn't that. It's the one that stays, the one that remains even when staying makes no sense. Why God's silence isn't what it looks like. Now let me tell you something that might be hard to hear, but it might change everything for you. God's silence is not absence. When you pray and feel nothing back, when you cry out and the sky feels closed, that doesn't mean God isn't listening. It means you're in a process you can't see yet. Think about it this way. When a seed is planted in the ground, it disappears. You cover it with dirt, and for weeks, you see absolutely nothing. The ground looks dead. It looks like nothing happened. But underneath the surface, quietly, the entire process that will produce life is already happening. Your situation might be like that right now, silent on the outside. But moving underneath, the problem is we want to see results before it's time. We want to feel God's presence as a physical sensation, an emotion, an obvious sign. And when it doesn't come, we read it as abandonment. But God doesn't work on our anxiety's timeline. He works on the right timeline. And the right timeline is almost never the one we want. What happens inside you when you give up on prayer? I'll be direct here because this really matters. When you stop praying, even if it's because you've lost hope, you cut the only line of communication that keeps you connected to something bigger than your problem. And then what happens? You're left alone with your thoughts, alone with your fear, alone with your pain. And the human mind, when it's alone with pain for too long, starts building stories. Stories that say things will never get better, that you don't deserve to be helped, that it's too late, that you're different from the people who got restored. Those stories are lies, but they feel very real when you're at the bottom of the pit. Prayer, even wordless prayer, even the simple act of placing yourself before God in silence, breaks that cycle. It reminds you that you're not alone. It puts you in a position to receive even when you feel nothing. Don't stop praying because you're not feeling anything. Stop measuring prayer by the emotion it produces. What to say when there are no words left? So here we are at the heart of this video. What can you actually say to God when you've lost hope? First, tell the truth. That sounds obvious, but it's not. Most people come before God and say what they think they're supposed to say, not what they're actually feeling. You say, "I trust you, Lord," when inside you're furious. You say, "I accept your will," when inside you're destroyed. God is not someone you need to impress with the right words. He already knows what's in your heart before you open your mouth. So tell the truth. Say, "I'm angry." Say, "I don't understand what's happening." Say, "I don't know if I still believe this is going to change." Say, "I'm exhausted. I have nothing left. I don't even know what to ask for." That is prayer. That is real dialogue. It's not perfect, but it's honest. And God prefers honesty over perfection. Second, ask only for what you can ask for. When hope runs out, we think we need enough faith to ask for the big thing, to ask for the whole miracle, to believe everything is going to work out. But maybe you can't ask for that right now. That's okay. Ask only for what you can ask for today. Ask for strength to get through this day. Ask for clarity to take one step. Ask for someone to show up in your life today who helps you breathe a little easier. Ask for something small, something that fits inside the faith you still have, even if it's the size of a grain of sand. Jesus said faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. He didn't say you needed a lot of faith. He said any faith, no matter how small, has power. Third, get quiet. This is the hardest one, but sometimes it's the most necessary. After you've said everything you have to say, all the pain, all the anger, all the confusion, get quiet for a few minutes. Not trying to feel anything, not waiting for a revelation, just being there. That act of being still before God is a form of prayer most people have never experienced. It's like sitting beside someone you love without needing to fill the silence. The presence is enough. You might not feel anything. It might seem like nothing happened, but something happens at a level you can't see every time. A prayer you can say right now. Let me give you something concrete. You don't have to say it word for word. Adapt it to what you're feeling. But if you're stuck and don't even know how to start here. God, I don't have pretty words today. I'm exhausted. I've lost hope. I don't understand what's happening in my life, and honestly, I'm angry, but I'm still here. I'm still talking to you, even without knowing if I believe it's going to make a difference. I'm only asking for one thing. Hold me up today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, give me the strength to get through this day. And if you're really there, show me. However you want, whenever you think is right. I don't have anything else to offer, but I'm here. That's a real prayer. That's a prayer God hears. Now I need to tell you the most important thing in this entire video. Hope doesn't come back all at once. Nobody wakes up one day completely restored after being at the bottom of the pit. That's not how it works. Restoration happens in layers, in days, in small moments you almost miss. One day you wake up and you can breathe a little deeper. One day someone says something that reaches you in a way nothing has in a long time. One day you remember something good that happened before everything fell apart and you think, maybe it's possible to feel that again. Those moments are hope coming back, not as an explosion, as a spark. And prayer, even dry prayer, even tired prayer, even wordless prayer, is what keeps you in the place where those sparks can reach you. You don't need hope to pray. You pray so that hope can come back. Do you see the difference? Most people wait to feel hope first, so they'll have the strength to pray. But it's the other way around. You pray first, even without feeling anything, and hope comes after, slowly, at the right time. David hit the lowest point of his life more than once. He ran from enemies, lost children, betrayed people he loved, was abandoned by people he trusted. And in every one of those moments, he did the same thing. He went and talked to God, not with perfect faith, not with pretty words, with whatever he had. And at the end of every psalm of despair, almost every single one, he arrived at a different place than where he started. Not because the situation had changed, but because the act of talking to God changed something inside him. That's what prayer does. It's not a magic formula. It's not a transaction where you say the right words and get what you want. It's a relationship, and real relationships are built on honest conversations, shared silence, and presence even when there's nothing left to say. If you made it to the end of this video, you're probably carrying something really heavy right now. I want you to take one thing from this. Just one. You don't need hope to pray, but you need to pray so that hope can come back. Don't wait to feel faith before you go talk to God. Go now, exactly as you are, with the anger you're carrying, with the exhaustion you feel, with the silence that's all you have to offer. He's already listening. He was listening before you ever opened your mouth, and that's where it starts. This video hit you in some way. This next one will help you even more. It's about what to do when your prayers feel like they're not working.